This week on Brewmasters, I take a pub crawl through time to uncover the secrets of an ancient Peruvian beer called chicha, made from human spit.
The Inca were essentially an empire of beer.
Whoa! I'm bringing this ancient recipe home to brew at Dogfish Head Pub in just 3 weeks.
That's really gross.
And I need my whole team at Dogfish on board.
I think we're gonna try and get through like 40 or 50 pounds.
The fatigue is setting in. It's affecting me. It's affecting my outlook on life. Now, what if we don't finish what we scheduled?
And it's going to take a lot to convince our patrons to try some.
Absolutely not, thank you.
I'm swimming in beer.
A great craft beer begins with a great idea.
You want to be where it's at? Join me in this vat.
I'm Sam Calagione, founder of Dogfish Head Brewery. My team and I make off-centered ales for off-centered people.
We brew it, we ferment it, we cool it, bottle, keg, ship, rinse, and repeat.
Well, I'm swimming in beer.
Brewing is literally one of the oldest professions in the history of civilization. Long ago, in ancient cultures around the world, beer had a much broader definition and was made from way different ingredients than what 99% of the commercial beer today represents. My name's Sam Calagione. I'm the president and founder of Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. This is my wife, Mariah, my beautiful bride, who's been working with us since '97. We've been making out since the mid-'80s, really, since high school.
My job is heading up the marketing team. Besides the neck logo, will there be our logo on there?
Always branding, sweetheart. I love that about you. Our cubicles are right next to each other. There's like bulletproof glass in between them.
At Dogfish Head, our motto is off-centered ales for off-centered people. When I created the company, I did it with the goal of challenging the beer status quo. Algae, crystallized ginger, coffee beans, peppercorns. We've tried beer with just about any ingredient you can think of.
What else, Brian?
Parsley, sage,
Rosemary. Thyme.
We also do a bit of beer archaeology, breathing new life into ancient brewing practices.
Opportunities to go back in time and make these liquid time capsules allow us to bring that color back into the brewing world.
A perfect example is chicha.
Chicha is the national beverage of Peru, so it's a corn-based beer. To get the conversion of starch to sugars in the corn, we use the traditional method of actually chewing on the corn. Human saliva has the enzyme that helps with that conversion.
In the early stages of brewing, grain is mixed with hot water so complex starches can be broken down into simple sugars. Yeast can then convert the sugar into alcohol. Today, modern brewers use malted barley, which already contains the enzyme needed for this conversion. But ancient civilizations like the Incas learned to chew grain like corn, since saliva naturally contains the enzyme that breaks down starches. 2 years ago, we brewed chicha as part of our Ancient Ales program. You might say we bit off a little more than we could chew.
We weren't ready for just how physically grueling making this beer was. This corn is really, really dry and powdery, and it literally sucks all the saliva out of your mouth, so it kind of hurts. It took way longer than we thought it would to chew the amount of corn that we needed to chew.
I definitely want to brew chicha again, but I'm going to have a hard time convincing my team to chew all that corn again.
So I'm trying to figure out why I'm in this cornfield.
I want to put you in a frame of mind to hear this news. So, why don't we go out and pick some local corn?
I mean, are we having a barbecue or something?
Well, you'll see. Remember the last time we brewed at the pub with a bunch of different corn? Do you remember how horrific chewing all that blue corn was? Do you remember the part where we made the beer incorporating human saliva? I'm kind of a sadomasochist, because I want to do that again.
Oh,
So
hey, Sam.
I didn't want you to run away scared when I said
Right.
we were going to brew chicha again.
I'll fully embrace the project again. I mean,
You want a high five on that? All kidding aside, it's a major relief to hear that head brewer Brian Selders is on board, because this project is going to require a lot of his help.
in the spirit of improving on what we did before, I'm excited.
In fact, I'm going to need my whole team's help on this one.
So, Connie, you know we're doing our chicha brew coming up at the pub soon, right? I'm planning on asking a bunch of you guys to help us with the chewing, but I think we're gonna try and get through like 40 or 50 pounds. All right, there's Jeff. And I caught you before you could run. Nick, we need you too. I know you can hear me. We need help chewing. Eleanor, you're gonna love this. It's gonna turn your tongue purple, your teeth a little purple, look great with your pretty eyes.
This is next week?
Yeah.
I'm actually on vacation next
It's
week.
no excuse. Last year, we had a rather pathetic showing. Like, very, very ambitious goals were not met on poundage of purple Peruvian corn.
This time, I've decided to up the ante. We're going to unveil this chicha brew at our pub in Rehoboth in just 3 weeks.
Our Rehoboth Brew Pub is the soul of Dogfish. We have a 5-barrel brewery, which is the equivalent of 10 kegs of beer, to explore anything we want to brew. And it's really neat because it's meant that the people that make that pilgrimage to our pub are really part of our R&D process. They have a say, they have a voice in what they like, making it out into wider distribution. What's up, guys?
The last time we tried making chicha, we had some detractors who said we didn't really make it in the authentic style. I decided to take that to heart and travel to Peru in search of authentic techniques and ingredients to make this age-old beer come alive. Peru was once home to the Inca Empire, a pretty advanced civilization. They built Machu Picchu and created an extensive road system over some of the most rugged mountains in the world. Most of the culture was wiped out by invading Spaniards, but one of the few customs that still remains is the brewing and drinking of chicha. For me, this makes chicha even more valuable. I've come here to seek out some old-school brewmasters who can show me the proper way to chew the corn and the proper ingredients to use in the brewing process.
this is my first time ever, not only to Peru, but to South America. Stoked to be researching the chicha tradition, but I'm gonna probably be doing it in these same clothes for many days unless they find my luggage. Hopefully my bag will show up eventually. I'm gonna start to smell pretty ripe pretty soon. A beautiful morning here in Cusco, Peru. I'm not waiting on a lady, just waiting on an archaeologist.
Specifically, my friend, Dr. Alexi Vranich, an archaeologist from UCLA.
I like your ride, Alexi.
Come on up, bro.
The area surrounding Cusco is known as the Sacred Valley of the Incas and is littered with sites of archaeological importance. We're on our way to a dig site managed by Alexi.
What's up with the sudden change in infrastructure?
So we're done with the roads,
And we're done with normal security officers. They're now four-legged security officers.
how's your backside doing, Sam?
It's kind of a personal question, Alexi, but not
no.
so good.
Not to mention, it's extremely hard to get used to breathing in this high altitude.
That's an interesting commute.
Come on down.
With a lack of oxygen, it's almost like I got a buzz on, and we haven't even had a beer yet. Did I mention I'm afraid of heights?
Right in the middle, that big rock right there is the focus. And you can see all my students, they're excavating their trenches around there.
The Inca Empire hit its peak about 500 years ago. Alexi has brought me to this site because he says it's where the Incas used to hold ceremonial feasts. And their drink of choice? You guessed it, chicha.
We're excavating a sacred Inca site. In Inca religion, this is where all the waters of Cusco first originated from.
Drunk in large quantities and poured over a sacred rock as an offering, chicha was the root of all Incan civilization.
They paid people with beer, and then they would build things like Sacsayhuaman and Machu Picchu. But to build more of this, they had to go out and conquer more territories, create more agricultural terraces, grow more corn to make beer to pay people. And it just became a cyclical process. The Inca were essentially an empire of beer.
What's this whole area called?
Well, Quechua, it's called Chican. Other people call it the Devil's Balcony.
A room with a view. Devil's balcony.
Here, take a seat down here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I have a wicked thing with
heights?
heights. I'm not good.
Oh,
jeez.
Spanish thought that the Inca were worshiping the devil. In Andean religion, this is a good place where you could come here, you take your offerings of chicha, and you dump it over into the Rio Sapi, which is the sacred river that flows directly into Cusco.
So, a river of beer literally ran into the city. In later centuries, that same city was overflowing with chicherias, bar after bar selling as many versions of the homebrew as there were people making it. Today, that's all but lost.
See, Sam, this is a great conversation and all, but eventually you got to drink beer.
Tough job. Someone's got to do it.
Coming up, turns out my search to uncover the ancient Inca method of chewing corn is proven to be a challenge.
Does she remember a time when they made the chicha with salivation?
No.
Back at Dogfish, the team tries to come up with a plan to chew a mountain of corn.
40 pounds is a lot of corn, so how can we optimize that?
But first, they have to collect saliva.
You can run, but you can't hide.
With 2 weeks left to the unveiling, I shop for ingredients at Cusco's Central Market.
These people were selling like ox vertebrae, and they had absolutely everything you could imagine.
It's day 2 of my quest in the ancient city of Cusco, Peru, where I hope to unearth the secrets of a very ancient brew invented by the Incas, chicha. It may be timeless, but the clock is ticking on Dogfish's plans to release our own limited batch of chicha at the brew pub in just 3 weeks. We don't yet have a recipe, a brew strategy, or even any idea how to properly chew corn when following the traditional method. So today, I'm investigating an old-school chicheria with my buddy, archaeologist Alexei Vranich.
Cool, so where's our first haunt? Where are we going?
This place is called El Descanso, the resting place. And if you talk to the old-timers, they say, yeah, if you want chicha, you got to talk to her. And she will not budge from the methods that her mom, from her grandma, probably great-grandma taught them.
Senora Mercedes Picar has been making chicha for over 30 years using a recipe that may be 300 years old. She uses only wood fire, traditional clay pot, and authentic natural ingredients in making her corn brew. So when she says she's open for business, the customers come from far and wide.
This is the flag?
Chicha? Yeah, this indicates that chicha is on right now.
Hello.
Señores, buenos días.
Buenos dias.
Chicha is traditionally regarded as something much more than a tasty brew. To the Incas, the starchy drink was both nourishment and currency in a glass. Before any first sip, that heritage is still recognized by performing a ritual of thanks and respect.
Pachamama, Santa Tierra, Can Castiki, Tepi, Sumas, Ajaikita.
We drink now.
Señor?
Tonight we are, right.
Salud. You know this part, Sam,
Yes,
right?
I know
All
this
right.
part.
Here you go. Let's
Down
try
the
this one.
hatch. Cheers.
Esa Inca.
Oh, she's going to drink with us. Nice. That's a brewer after my own heart.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Very citrusy, lime, grassy, tart. This is very rich with active yeast. The foam on top is actually the beer fermenting while we're drinking it.
Yeah.
How many days old is this?
3 días.
3 days.
Does she know a percentage of alcohol?
Bueno, ahorita
You know, 1 to 2% alcohol. If it keeps going, maybe up to 3%.
Oh, okay, I'll wait around. I got time. I got time for that.
Contrary to what I've heard is tradition, Senora Picard doesn't chew corn in making her chicha. She says her ancestors handed down the more modern practice of germinating corn. By allowing the corn to sprout, the enzyme needed to convert the starch is produced in process, eliminating the need for human saliva.
They bring it out and they put it for 2 days in the sun.
Yep, dries it out, and then they can start doing that process with it.
The dried, germinated corn is put in a pot with hot water, the Stone Age equivalent of the modern mash tun. After a little time, the starches are broken down and that liquid becomes what we modern brewers call the wort. In the final step, she filters it through a basket of hay into clay pots and lets them ferment naturally for 2 days.
She's absolutely, adamant about it. She says the best chicha has to be strained this way. You can do it the other way, but she's making, off-centered chicha for off-centered Peruvians. So that's what she's doing.
With the huge amount of corn we have to chew for Dogfish's chicha, while still maintaining our usual production levels, we can't wing it like we did last time. I put in a call to Team Chicha. Katrinka, our lab expert, Carl, our lab technician, and our brewmaster Flores to come up with a game plan.
Hey!
Hey!
Where have you been?
This only shows my torso, I think, but underneath all I've gone is alpaca boxer brief. So I've been doing a bunch of recon stuff out here. I'm definitely getting a feeling that this is a woman's world. It was always the women that made the chicha. They're brewing their chicha like 7, 10, 12, 15 gallons at a time. We're gonna be doing a lot more. The first time we make chicha, it took us like 5 hours to chew like 7 pounds. I think our goal is somewhere around 40 pounds.
What would be cool if we could figure out
If there are really people that are much better than others.
who within Dogfish can be Spitmaster.
What's your guys' time frame? We're planning on brewing this next week, right, at the brewery?
Yep, on Tuesday.
All right, see you guys. Have a great day.
The 40 pounds, it's a number I had not heard before.
That's a lot of corn.
40 pounds is a lot of corn. So how can we optimize that? And are there people that are much better than others, and why?
We need to do a little experimenting.
Team Chicha is gonna do some recon to see who at Dogfish can be our super chewers. By the time I get back from my mission in Peru, we will have just a few days to chew 40 pounds of corn and brew this beer for its unveiling at our pub. Next up, I finally uncover an authentic recipe that I like, but the ingredients list is gonna prove tricky.
Tam, I have no idea how you're going to replicate all these nuances.
Back at Dogfish, saliva is meeting science in our quality control lab. Technicians Katrinka Housley and Carl Arnberg are on a mission to find out if Dogfish has any super chewers.
Open. Work it, work it. Yeah, go ahead.
Carl and Katrinka have to design a lab procedure to test the effectiveness of everyone's spit at Dogfish.
Oh, God.
This lofty pursuit begins with the understanding that everyone's saliva contains at least some amount of amylase, the enzyme that'll break down starch.
Historically, in South America, women chew the corn because the assumption is that women have more alpha amylase, and we're just trying to figure out if there's any validity to that.
The next step is just to collect samples of spit. I'm not terribly excited about that at all.
If one of us does this, it's just going to look like we're sexual deviants, but if we're both doing it, then there's some validity. Or we're both sexual deviants. Look at your face. I'll carry the spit, you carry the donuts. That's my gift to you, that I will
Thank
carry
you.
the spit. I'm a giver.
My Peruvian expedition to uncork the secrets of brewing chicha continues. With the clock moving relentlessly forward to brew day in under a week, it feels like time for archaeologist Alexi and me is actually moving in reverse.
This is like a pub crawl through time.
Pub crawl through time.
We've got one more chicheria to investigate, and he says this one is more old school than the last.
We're actually going to give a look at the masticating method.
Ah, salivation will be our salvation.
This is the actual place right here. Come on in.
So is that like the equivalent of the big old bag?
But this is the way it used to be. They used to put flowers up.
Yeah.
Because flowers after a few days start to wilt.
And that's how you know when it's fresh?
After a few days, you're walking by, you're like, I think their chicha's like 2-3 days old. So you can tell by the flowers.
Nice.
But it's been replaced in most parts by that plastic bag. Watch your head.
Yeah.
We're actually sitting inside what appears to be an intact Inca building.
Yeah. Just look at like the cobwebs and stuff in here.
You can see a lot of soot. This place has been used for a long time.
Talk about House Tawar.
Man, if this was in Los Angeles, I'd say they overdid it with the theme bar. But
like this couldn't possibly happen in nature.
It's brew day here at Senora Lourdes Flores' place, a neighborhood chicha establishment with no charter of incorporation or traditional storefront, just centuries of know-how.
All right, so that's that germinated corn we saw before.
Yeah. It turns out Senora Flores also uses partially germinated corn, but she still believes in combining it with the chewing method. She has to keep production moving for her local regulars, so she lets us take a shot at helping her out.
Can we add ours too?
Sí, sí.
Oh, okay.
But they don't.
Sam, that's
Too much.
Yeah, look how some of that was pretty
Too
dry.
much. That was rookie mistake.
That looks like something you dropped off on the boardwalk.
So it's kind of, they don't chew it to the point where it's a paste. They
Right.
just kind of open it all up.
A little bit of saliva in there, from the looks of it. Yours is a big goober right there.
Right.
Yeah.
These? You're okay to spit directly? Or
I don't think so, man. That's good.
You're supposed to use your hand.
I think you're supposed to take it out like this and drop it in there.
Okay.
Just she's getting ready, and that's going to be, that's the filter.
That smells so good. It smells like corn and hay and milk. It smells like Amish country.
Yeah, it does.
Another chicha maker using a basket of hay for filtration. I have a hunch this is a key find in terms of authenticity. Whether or not it's the best filtration method, the fresh hay is surely adding flavor notes to the brew.
In the wine world, terroir is like the dirt that the grapes grow in. And in the beer world, the terroir is all the unique processes that you use. Her terroir couldn't be more, authentic.
After the customary offering, we pop the top on a 2-day-old brew in its prime.
Whoa! She rocked hers in one sip. I got served.
You got served. How long you've had that brewery?
That one. You ready? Are you ready? With me? Me? Ready? That's really good. The consistency's a little chalkier, a little thicker, but still lemony. It's milky.
Sam, I have no idea how you're going to replicate all these nuances.
No kidding. Senora Flores has an extensive list of spices used to flavor her chicha, and trying to convert them into a shopping list through a translator ends up being a bit of a challenge.
She just rattled off their 7 different ingredients, and each one has to go in just right.
But the good news is we got 5 days to get it all together from, one continent to the next, so we're fine. Is it me or did she just pour herself another giant glass of chicha?
Back at Milton, Katrinka and Carl are on the prowl to collect saliva from all our coworkers.
You can run, but you can't hide.
They'll bring it back to the lab, test it, and determine whose saliva passes the amylase test.
Hey, Tracy, I need your saliva.
You can tell me why you're not getting it.
We're gonna test your amylase levels.
And then you get a donut.
Can't spit on demand. That's weird.
Would it help if Carl took his shirt off?
This is spit in here, really?
Just spit
Yes,
in it.
please.
Or you could drool, or
Are you kidding?
nope.
Fortunately, we were dead serious.
Go Dogfish team.
What do you need?
Spit
For what?
for drug tests. We're testing for opiates.
Oh, come on, seriously?
I need some of your spit. Don't make me have to take it.
All right, listen, I've done some pretty disgusting but
We want to clone you.
I knew you guys were doing some freaky in this lab.
God, it's better than urine. Now it's all over my face.
I knew.
This is atrocious.
This is probably the least proud of myself that I've ever been. Well, not on the clock.
I'm about to puke. So.
I'm gonna lose it.
Ale was brewed for centuries without hops. Before the 1300s, ale was flavored with herbs and spices like rosemary and thyme. Yet the antiseptic quality of hops helps to preserve ale from spoiling and later became a vital part of the recipe. After some blood, sweat, and tears, Katrinka and Carl from Dogfish's quality control department have gathered saliva samples from nearly all the staff.
Right?
Right, let's get to testing. Oh, jeez.
Ooh, why is that spit so brown?
Oh, isn't that nasty?
In just a few days, we're going to try our hand at brewing chicha, an ancient Peruvian beer made from corn chewed by people. Carl and Katrinka are going to test the samples to find out who at Dogfish has enough amylase, the enzyme in spit that will make them successful chewers.
All right, dose half a mil starch into each. Shake them up and then let them sit.
Starch is a complex chain of individual simple sugars, like a string of pearls. Amylase, a digestive enzyme, can break the sugars apart. The more amylase in the saliva, the faster the process takes place.
So now we set the timer to 10 minutes, and then at the end we put iodine in, see what our color is.
When iodine is added to the solution, if the conversion has taken place, the solution turns brown, meaning the saliva has passed. If not enough amylase is present, the starches will still be in long chains. The iodine bonds with the starch, turning the solution blue. This means the saliva has failed.
Brown is good, blue is bad. Tracy, pass. Audrey, Katrinka, Nora, and Heather, all pass.
If this were competition, I would put my money on the women folk.
Oh, those are all passes. Oh.
The package failed.
Not that it's a competition, but am I a better spitter than Flores?
Yeah, Flores was the only man that failed.
Oh, Flores! Not that it's a competition. Not that it's a competition.
I have to talk to you about your spit levels. I'm very disappointed in you.
Your volume was fantastic, but your potency was quite pathetic.
You really...
That's the story of my life. That's the proof that the test is not good. That's a false positive.
I'm just kidding. You passed. You passed.
Yeah.
Are we
So I am good.
You're good.
Yeah,
I was just pulling your leg.
You passed.
Oh, come on.
You're too easy.
Other men at Dogfish, though, didn't test so well. 37% of test takers failed, and they were all men. The women at Dogfish have won the war of saliva.
So we have a possibility to have 30 people who can chew. I'm just a little bit worried about is that we don't have enough people to get to the volume of corn we need to get to.
So we're here another beautiful day in downtown Cusco. At this point, I've got a belly full of chicha, and I got a mind full of chicha. That last chicha that I had is the one that I really fell in love with. She used a lot of really interesting spices that I'm hoping to find here in the big central market. If you consider yourself an extreme shopper and you've never been to Cusco, drop what you're doing and book a flight. This market will make your head explode. These people were selling like ox vertebrae and whole frogs. I was ready to come up to the Eye of Newt stand or the takeout window where you get dragon nipple chips. They had absolutely everything you could imagine. But I've got a specific shopping list, so we head straight for the spices. Okay, this looks like we've come to the right place. That's close. That's on our list. Is that like natural cinnamon stick?
That is the biggest cinnamon stick.
Beautiful. Doesn't that smell awesome?
Oh yeah, that's very subtle.
I don't think people will believe me when I get back.
When you come back with a giant cinnamon stick. What else do we have on our list?
I gotta get fennel. There's this local spearmint that they use. That one I cannot pronounce for the life of me. We'll make international signs for spearmint. Which is this? What's that?
This is a toronjil.
This is a toronjil.
It's the local spearmint I was looking for.
Ooh, that's really good.
She's gonna tell you the price, and you're gonna go, what?
That's too much.
Yeah, we're gonna try to haggle this one. ¿Esto cuánto está? Cinco, he says 5 soles.
5 soles? That's crazy talk.
Okay, she says 4.
Yes!
Okay.
We negotiated.
All right, I think we're good.
Muchas gracias.
Authentic spices in hand, we've got one last stop. I'm convinced that in order to make our Dogfish chicha even more authentic than the last time, I'm gonna need a chicha basket so we can filter our brew through hay, just like the locals.
I'm guessing this is it. Bread baskets and beyond.
This family is recognized locally as the source of master-crafted chicha baskets, hands down.
Buenos dias. Hello. Wow, this is cool. That's actually about the size. Look at that. That's a good size. Oh, that's beautiful.
Pull out your credit card?
Yeah, they do take credit cards here, right? Think we can get it gift wrapped?
No, I don't think.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right,
muchas gracias. Thank you very much. It's beautiful. Beautiful work.
Okay. Yep. All right, I got the basket. You keep the chicken.
Is it like if you buy a basket, you get a chicken?
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is kind of bittersweet. This is my last day in Peru. I wasn't expecting to love this place as much as I did. And I know we got a lot done here, but I'm a little anxious to get home. And the big question is, when we ask all of our coworkers to join us in chewing this much corn, will they say, yeah, we want to do this? I'm hopeful they will.
Coming up, even with everyone at Dogfish chewing around the clock, we're still not sure we can complete the chicha batch in time.
That's not a good sign. Now, what if we don't finish what we scheduled? It's good to be back here in Delaware.
After my liquid expedition to uncover the secrets of chicha brewing in Peru, me and all my chicha ingredients are back in the US of A.
Brewing tomorrow, and today is Chew-a-Palooza, and we got a lot going on, so I got to check in with the crew and make sure we're ready to do this.
We've got a mountain of corn to chew by the end of today so that saliva can work its magic overnight. No chewed corn today, no chicha tomorrow. I'm hooking up with head brewer Brian Selders so we can try a dry run on the corn before we distribute it to all the super chewers.
Hey, you all right? Yeah. Like non-flashbacks of corn chewing right now.
First, we tried chewing the dried corn whole, but quickly realized it's too hard on the mouth.
That was a mistake.
What?
Because it really hurt my teeth just there.
My dad's a tooth doctor, and he might have been good to have on standby for this situation.
Then we tried grinding the corn up before we chew.
I don't see us ever doing this in a large batch. It hurts. It makes the hurt stop.
You need some water?
No, I'm gonna be all right.
Dogfish is still a functioning brewery with a production schedule. The idea was that our staff would be multitasking, chewing their allotments of corn while still performing their normal duties. Unless we come up with something to make this easier, productivity is gonna grind to a halt, not to mention making it through all the corn.
It took us, I don't know how many hours last year to chew 7 pounds of corn. This year we're gonna try and chew 40. In the last half hour, I'd say we've gotten through about an ounce. I'm no math, I'm a scientist, but I think we're in trouble here if we don't come up with something.
Brian then comes up with the idea of hydrating the corn in hot water to make it softer, and it works. So, after a brief interlude, the corn is ready, just in time for the start of the Dogfish workday.
We're very dry.
I'll work at it. It's gonna be a lot of chewing.
What's it taste like? The erasers when you were a kid in grade school. Yeah?
Haven't started yet. I'm delaying.
Serious growth. I can't look up.
That's really gross.
Go, 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 go.
There's a reason chicha hasn't become the most popular beer style in the world.
I'm sure everyone's thinking, is this really necessary? But the fact is that we go to great lengths to recreate beers using traditional methods. And in the case of chicha, that means using a traditional Incan chewing method.
Drum roll, please.
So right now, you're seeing tremendous level of dedication, intestinal fortitude amongst my coworkers. We're doing all right. How you guys doing over there? Well? Good? John, I don't see you chewing.
It's truly a magical sight to behold. The entire village of Dogfish Super Chewers is contributing to our batch of chicha. But by midday, our totals are looking low. So we decide to open it up to anyone willing to chew the corn. No matter where they are or what they're doing, everyone seems to have a cup of corn in their hands. And don't think that doesn't include me.
While you're chewing, Michelle sent me these. I don't know if you got a chance to look at them, but
I saw that email where you...
Despite a full day of scheduled meetings, I'm constantly chewing corn. Maybe more than anyone else.
Yeah, I've officially retired from chewing corn. I just threw up in my trash can. Fortunately, I didn't throw up in my cup, so I'm pretty sure that the corn's still gonna be usable.
This is my 4th cup I'm getting some fatigue. I'm not going to lie to you. The fatigue is setting in. It's affecting me. It's affecting my outlook on life. I'm looking forward to being done with this. How far are we? Do we have a lot more to do? Okay, that's not good. That's not a good sign. Sellers, how many cups have you choked? Now, what if we don't finish what we scheduled to finish in poundage tonight? Okay, thanks for your help. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We had a whole year to plan. We researched it. We had a good game plan, and it still kicked our butts. This volume of corn. So I'm gonna keep working on this one. Beautiful night, al fresco, a little chewing under the sun.
The stick's out.
That's it, game on.
But will anyone show up at the brew pub to drink saliva beer?
Did you guys try the chicha?
So today is the big day. We're supposed to be brewing chicha. That's if we got enough corn chewed and spewed last night. As always, I'm multitasking. I'm on my way back to the brew pub with the hay for the filter basket. And I'm texting Brian to see if we're a go.
If I were to describe to you what hell would be like for me, it would be being a chicha brewer day in and day out. My jowls are in pain, my teeth hurt. I can barely taste anything. It's surprising that I can actually talk to you because my tongue is swollen.
But the good news is that we appear to have enough corn.
How you doing? You ready to make some chicha?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. That was resonant. So this is the Peruvian that we didn't get through. Our goal was to get a little bit more chewed than we did. We still did pretty darn awesome. 8 times as much volume as last year chewed ourselves, which is great. And we'll augment what we needed with flaked maize. They're the corn world equivalent of malted barley, pretty much.
Kinda, sorta.
The first step of brewing a beer is mashing in. That's where we mix water and malted barley.
Right now, Brian's acting as a DJ. Instead of 2 turntables and a microphone, he has 2 valves, and by cutting and scratching with those valves, he's getting the exact right temperature mix of cold and hot water to mash in the barley.
In the case of our chewed corn, that process has already begun. But unfortunately, chewed corn is not our only grain, so we still have to mash.
Because we are a brewery and our federal license mandates we have to use barley.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of barley going in with this batch.
And now the chewed corn.
Purple corn.
Don't let that splash up, please.
Okay. Mix that up, please.
While the mixture steeps, we get our secret chicha technology ready.
Put the lotion in the basket. Put the lotion on your skin. Right? It smells good, doesn't it?
It does smell nice.
So the hay itself will also add some grassy notes to the beer. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Good
That's
job.
exactly what we were looking for.
Well done, people.
After mashing in, we transfer the liquid from the mash tun to the boil kettle. We separate the liquids from the solids and are left with wort, or young beer. In this case, we filter the wort through our Peruvian filter basket, which catches the chunks and I suspect adds authentic flavor notes. The wort is then boiled, neutralizing any, germs or cooties from the chewed corn, so they're long gone. Then, the spices are added for additional flavoring.
The majority of our spicing is going to come from the ingredients I brought back from Peru. And we want these kind of suspended in the wort like giant tea bags. All right, here it goes. Goodbye.
After the boil, the young beer is sent to the fermenter. We'll add oxygen and yeast and let it ferment for about 10 days, till it reaches our target alcohol of 4.5%.
Always fun brewing with you, brother.
Likewise.
It's almost time of the day where I can come right back down this road, and there's going to be a big old stick hanging off the front of this building with this beautiful bouquet of red flowers saying, "Chicha's on tap. Come here and have one." So it's nice to see the Chicha flag just up there letting people know that we're serving it finally. That's it. Game on. Chicha's on.
The fermentation finished without a hitch, and we met our deadline.
All right, we're tapping.
I really look forward to days like this, when we're at the pub tapping a new beer. But today, I'm a little anxious, because the last time around, we didn't have great luck with chicha.
Absolutely not, thank you. I'm not tasting anything with someone spitting it.
Some small fraction of people were a little bit repulsed by this idea, and it was kind of a great way of separating the off-centered people from the people who are not ready to be this off-centered. I'm psyched to see if our customers are going to dig this new, more authentic batch of chicha. But in order to appease the brewing gods and give us some good luck, I have one last thing to do before we serve. They have a great tradition that I learned down there in Peru, which is like a prayer/cheers. Let's blow towards the beach in Rehoboth. Blow towards our boil kettle. Let's blow towards the brewery in Milton for our peeps over there. So that's towards our ancestors and our lost loved ones. And that's it. And then we look each other in the eyes and say, cheers. Let's give this a whirl. Oh, that's good chicha.
I enjoy it.
Spicy up front,
Very
dry
spicy
and
up front.
clean.
I taste a little Angela, a little Katrinka, a lot of Brian.
I got a lot of Brian in this beer. 3 pounds of Brian in this beer. I'm psyched with the way this turned out.
I think it tastes really good.
Me too. This was round 2 of chicha brewed in Rehoboth, but this one had a lot more recon from real Peruvian chicha, and you can taste it.
Let's hope our customers can get by our methods and appreciate the love that went into it.
Did you guys try the chicha?
So somebody has salivated into this? That's good to know.
This sounds great. We really want to try one.
It's very light, but it's got a lot of flavor to it, which means you can drink a lot of it.
First thing I smelled when I lifted it up was cinnamon. And it was cool, refreshing.
I know there's sweet corn in it. I love it.
Beauty's in the eye of the beer holder, right?
I was unsure whether it really could be done, but actually Sam did it.
It never fails to surprise me just how off-centered most of our customers are willing to be for the sake of trying something new. The reception to chicha has been great. Not everyone can get over the mental hurdle of knowing how it's made, but once they try it, I think they really dig it.
I want a glass like he has.
Now I just have to convince my staff of my plan for next year.
So we did the math, and if we wanted to brew this in Milton next year, we would need 150 people. And then we do 100 barrels bottled of chicha. I can feel the enthusiasm. I can just sense the enthusiasm. We'll see if it happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
This beer was a great success. I mean, we brought back an authentic recipe from the masters of Peru, and we were able to recreate it thanks to my awesome Dogfish team. And we hit our deadline, so we were able to release the beer at our pub and share it with all our devoted customers.
If we can turn a bunch of people in coastal Delaware onto a recipe that's been going on for hundreds of years, hopefully it keeps chicha alive and remind people there are millions of different beers out there and they should search them out and try them all.
Very clear, almost like a American-type Pilsner.
I almost get like a bubblegum type flavor to it.
I smell licorice.
Smooth. It's very smooth.
Maybe citrusy.
Pear. I smell pear.
Olives.
Tastes like popcorn.
A little bit of fennel in there, a little bit of grassiness.
Have to go with some really good packaging on this.
It's a girl beer. Girls are gonna like this because it's smooth.
I don't think you should tell too many people about drinking saliva-based beer, but I have no problem drinking it.